Some people look peaceful from the outside. Their voice stays steady, their face stays soft, and their hands barely move. But inside, nothing is fully quiet. They seem composed in meetings, kind at dinner, and easy to be around. Then they get home and feel strangely wrecked. Not traumatic, just deeply used up. That kind of exhaustion confuses people. It does not always look like stress. It often looks like functioning. You answer texts, finish errands, smile on cue, and say you are fine. Meanwhile, your mind keeps running after the moment is already ended. Your body stays in the room long after everyone else has left it. This is the psychology of looking calm while never fully unwinding. It is what happens when composure becomes a surface skill and rest never reaches the deepest part of you. A lot of sensitive people learn early how to appear settled. They become readable to others in all the safest ways. Quiet voice, polite timing, no visible chaos. But hidden effort still costs energy. Reading the room costs energy. Holding your reactions in a neat shape costs even more. You can look relaxed and still be tracking everything. The pause before someone answers, the shift in their tone, the tiny disappointment they tried not to show. Your nervous system notices what other people skim past, not because you are trying to be intense, because your mind does not really know how to stop receiving. That is why ordinary days can feel oddly heavy, not because something huge happened, because too much small information kept landing without fully leaving. A quick conversation can stay with you for hours. A strange look from a coworker can quietly replay at midnight. A loud grocery store can follow you home like static. People often think exhaustion comes from obvious strain. Deadlines, conflict, bad news, overwork. But there is another kind that comes from constant, subtle processing. You are not only living your day, you are interpreting it while it happens, then reviewing it again when the room finally gets quiet. That second layer is where so much depletion lives, the hidden commentary, the inner scanning that never gets to clock out. Some people can leave an interaction when it ends. You leave physically, but part of you keeps sorting it. What did they mean? What did you miss? What shifted? What stayed unsaid? And because you seem calm, nobody sees the aftershock. They see the smooth delivery. They do not see the recovery time. This is why sensitive exhaustion can feel so lonely. The outside evidence does not match the inside load. You look capable while quietly running on fumes. There is often a delay to it. In the moment, you perform well. 2 hours later, your body drops like it has been carrying invisible weight. You may even mistake this for weakness. Why did that simple lunch make me so tired? Why do I need silence after something everyone else called fun? But the answer is not always fragility. Sometimes it is bandwidth. Your system was handling more than the moment appeared to contain. You were listening to words and also to tension. You were noticing expressions, pacing, volume, and emotional undercurrents. You were staying socially appropriate while internally translating everything. That is not passive experience. That is labor. Quiet labor, but labor all the same. And it becomes even heavier when you are the kind of person who wants to keep things smooth. You monitor yourself so nobody has to monitor you. You keep the atmosphere stable even when your own mind is buzzing. So people call you grounded, mature, easygoing. They rarely call you tired because your tiredness is so well behaved. Sometimes the calm look is not calm at all. It is containment. It is years of learning how to keep inner noise from spilling into the room. You learn to process privately, to wait until later, to hold it together first and feel it afterward. The problem is that afterward keeps getting crowded. One unfinished feeling piles onto the next. By night, your mind is full of unclosed tabs. That is why bedtime can feel strangely loud. The lights are off, the house is still, and now every small interaction returns with better audio. Your brain finally has space, so everything comes back through it. You replay the joke that landed weird, the message you sent with the wrong tone, the moment you sensed someone was upset even though they said nothing. Other people call this overthinking. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it is delayed processing from a mind that was too busy staying composed to fully feel in real time. During the day, you are managing input. At night, you are metabolizing it. That is why your tiredness can feel both physical and unfinished. And the body notices this long before language does. Tight jaw in the car, heavy eyes after a normal conversation, a deep exhale only after the front door closes behind you. Maybe you have felt that moment. Shoes off, kitchen light low, no one asking anything from you. And suddenly, your whole chest drops an inch. That drop matters. It tells you how much holding was happening. It tells you calm is not the same thing as ease. Ease means your system feels safe enough to stop monitoring. Calm only means the monitoring is not visible. Those are very different experiences. Highly aware people often live in that difference. They can seem serene while internally bracing. They can sound steady while their mind is still sorting 10 layers at once. This does not always begin with pain. Sometimes it begins with praise. Being the mature one, the thoughtful one, the one who handles things well. So you become good at not adding weight to the room. You feel the room instead. You absorb first, react second, and rest last. Over time, that turns into a pattern. You stop asking whether you are comfortable. You ask whether everyone else is. That constant outward awareness has a cost. It pulls attention away from your own signals. Hunger gets delayed. Fatigue gets ignored. Irritation gets softened before you even admit it. Then one day, you wonder why rest does not work like it should. You slept, but still feel crowded. You stayed home, but still feel spent. Because rest is not only the absence of activity, it is the absence of inner vigilance, and many calm-looking people never fully set that down. They are still anticipating the next interruption, still replaying what already happened, still carrying emotions that were not entirely theirs to begin with. That is another hidden drain, emotional absorption, not being manipulated by everyone, just being permeable to them. You sit with someone who is tense, and your body tightens too. You spend time with someone restless, and your own mind loses rhythm. You call it empathy, but sometimes it feels more like weather. You do not have to agree with someone to feel their energy. You do not even have to like them. Your system can still register their mood like background music that will not turn off. And because you may not notice it immediately, it can be hard to name. You just know you felt okay before. Now you feel heavy, but cannot point to one clear reason. That confusion makes self-trust harder. You start asking, what is wrong with me? Why am I drained by things other people seem to shake off? But awareness has a metabolism. The more you take in, the more your system has to sort. If you are sensitive and observant, your inner world is doing extra work almost all day. Think about a simple coffee shop. For one person, it is just coffee and background noise. For another, it is clattering cups, bright lights, tense faces, overlapping voices, and nowhere for the mind to land. Same place, different load, same afternoon, different nervous system bill. That difference is invisible but very real. This is why some people feel tired before the day even starts. Their system never fully completed yesterday. Sleep happened, but decompression did not. They wake up with leftover tabs still open, a half-felt emotion, a conversation that needs one more review, a body that rested without fully unclenching. So they move through the morning already low, not lazy, not weak, not ungrateful, just internally overbooked. And still, they keep showing up well. They answer with warmth. They make people feel comfortable. They carry more than anyone can tell. There is something almost heartbreaking about that. The people who seem the most composed are often spending the most energy maintaining that impression. Their peace is sometimes a performance of care. Not fake care. Real care, but care that keeps reaching outward, even when the inside is asking for relief. That is why social moments can have delayed exhaustion. You can enjoy the dinner, love the friends, and still feel drained after. Pleasure does not cancel processing. Good experiences can overstimulate sensitive systems too. Laughter is still stimulation. Warmth is still input. Connection can fill the heart and tire the mind at the same time. That contradiction confuses a lot of people. They think if something was good, they should feel energized. But some systems need recovery after meaning, not just after stress. You may leave a lovely evening and still need an hour alone in the dark, not because anything went wrong, because your mind was receiving everything deeply. This depth is not a flaw, but it can become expensive when you never build a way to come back down, when every feeling enters fully and few things exit cleanly. That is where the hidden inner busyness lives, not always in panic, often in low-level constant activation. You are checking tone, remembering details, predicting needs, editing your responses, and staying pleasant. Your face may look soft. Your brain is running customer service, translation, and surveillance at the same time. Then people say, "You are so calm." And part of you almost laughs, because calm is what they saw, not what it cost. Sometimes the most exhausted person in the room is the least disruptive one. They are not making demands. They are managing them internally. This is also why silence can feel unfamiliar at first. When a mind is used to constant monitoring, quiet does not instantly feel restful. It can feel like stepping off a moving walkway and still sensing motion. Many people think they want rest, then finally get it, and cannot settle. Not because they enjoy chaos, because slowing down reveals how activated they already were. The body does not always trust stillness right away. It fidgets, scrolls, snacks, cleans, checks, and searches for one more thing to manage. Activity feels safer than release. So the person who looks composed all day may struggle most at night. The room is finally quiet enough to hear the backlog. The nervous system starts sending every unopened message at once. That is why sleep can become negotiation. One part of you is tired, another part is still on duty. And if this has been true for years, it can start to feel like your personality. You tell yourself you are just someone who cannot relax, but often it is not your nature alone. It is a practice state. A practice state can be softened, not overnight, not by pretending you do not care, and not by turning yourself into a different person, but by seeing the pattern clearly enough to stop blaming yourself for it. Because self-blame adds another layer of noise. Now you are not only tired, you are tired and ashamed of being tired. That shame keeps people performing longer than they should. It makes them minimize their needs. It makes them call their depletion dramatic, even when it has been quietly building for months. A gentler truth is this: your exhaustion may not be coming from doing life badly. It may be coming from doing too much of it internally. Too much noticing, too much absorbing, too much staying composed before you have checked in with yourself. And when you live that way for long enough, even comfort can feel partial. You sit on your own couch and still feel half prepared for impact. Home is quiet, but your system is not fully home yet. That does not mean you are broken. It means your body may have learned that calm on the surface is more important than safety underneath. Many thoughtful people learn that lesson so early, they stop seeing it. They become experts at seeming okay, less practiced at actually returning to okay. That difference can shape an entire life. It shapes relationships too. People may assume you need less support because you appear so steady. They do not realize how much energy your steadiness already costs. So you become the one who understands everyone else, the one who senses the shift, catches the mood, chooses the right words. Meanwhile, your own inner weather goes untranslated. Eventually, the tiredness starts feeling existential. Not just I need sleep. More like I need somewhere inside myself where nothing is required. That is such an important distinction. What you may be craving is not escape from life. It is relief from constant internal responsibility. Relief from being emotionally available before you are emotionally settled. Relief from scanning every room. Relief from carrying subtle things long after the moment has passed. And once you see that, something softens. You stop measuring your exhaustion against louder people. You stop asking why small things affect you so much. Because they were never just small things. They were small things, plus interpretation. Small things plus restraint. Small things plus accumulation. This is the hidden cost of deep awareness. It enriches your perception, but it also multiplies your processing. It lets you notice beauty, but also burden. You feel the beauty in voices, pauses, and ordinary tenderness. You also feel strain, distance, and what is not being said. The gift and the load arrive through the same door. So, no, the answer is not to romanticize exhaustion. Being deeply aware does not make depletion noble. It just makes it understandable. And understanding matters. Because when you can name the real source of your tiredness, you stop treating yourself like a mystery that keeps failing simple tests. You begin to see why a calm face can hide a crowded mind. Why a polite smile can cover a taxed nervous system. Why being low maintenance can sometimes mean you have been self-abandoning in very quiet ways. There's nothing weak about needing more time to come down. Nothing excessive about wanting silence after intensity. Nothing irrational about being worn out by what other people barely notice. Your system may simply be honest about what it takes to carry awareness. Honest about how much energy constant self-control actually burns. Honest about the fact that composure is not the same as peace. And maybe that is the real turning point. Not becoming less sensitive. Just becoming less confused about why life feels so heavy sometimes. Because once you understand the weight, you stop making cruel stories about it. You stop calling yourself lazy for needing recovery. You stop calling yourself too much when the truth is that you have been carrying too much. The calm people who never fully unwind are often not empty. They are overfull. Overfull of detail, restraint, empathy, unfinished feeling, and silent effort. So, if you have been wondering why you always seem fine and still feel deeply tired, this may be the answer. You are not failing to relax. You are staying alert in ways nobody could see. And some of the most exhausted people are the ones who mastered looking peaceful. They learned how to hide the noise, not how to end it. That is why being understood can feel like the first real exhale. Maybe that exhale starts here. Not with a perfect fix, but with a truer name for what you carry. You look calm because you learned to. You feel tired because it has cost you more than anyone knew.